In a quiet suburban neighborhood, there was a house that no one dared go near. It stood at the end of a dark street, shrouded by towering trees and overgrown hedges. No one had lived there for years, yet every so often, strange occurrences would ripple through the neighborhood. It was on a particularly stormy evening that the first reports started to emerge. Neighbors, shaken by the heavy winds, were settling into their homes when the sound of knocking came from one of the darkened houses. A man, a new resident of the street, cautiously approached his front door. He was alone, and the eerie sound seemed to come from nowhere. The rain hammered the windows, but there was no mistaking the three quick knocks, repeated and insistent. When he opened the door, he saw them. Two children standing on his doorstep, drenched from the rain, their hair matted to their pale faces. But it wasn't their wet clothes or trembling forms that chilled him to the bone. It was their faces, hollow, empty, as though the features had been scraped away, leaving only smooth, pale skin and a void where their eyes should have been. The unsettling blackness of their eyes was all-consuming. No whites, no irises, just an abyss. "Can we come inside?" they asked, their voices a strange, haunting monotone. "We need help." A wave of nausea washed over the man. He wanted to slam the door, but he couldn't. His body felt frozen, as if he were paralyzed by their dark gaze. Without warning, the children's voices shifted. There was no pleading, no desperation in their tone, only an icy calm that struck fear into his heart. "You should have let us in," they whispered, their mouths stretching into wide, unnerving grins. Suddenly, the air in the room grew cold, and the man felt a heavy pressure on his chest. He could no longer breathe. As the children stepped back into the shadows, he closed the door and locked it, gasping for air, trying to make sense of what had just happened. Days passed, but something was off. The man couldn't shake the image of their hollow, empty faces. He found himself growing paranoid, hearing strange noises at night, feeling eyes on him even when he was alone. Then the first incident occurred. It was his dog, discovered the next morning in the yard, lifeless, its eyes wide with terror. As he stood over the animal, staring at its vacant expression, he realized something was wrong. That same dark feeling from the night of the encounter had returned, but it was more intense this time. His own reflection seemed distorted in the windows. The neighbors were no help either. They all claimed to have seen the same strange children, but no one dared speak about it openly. Those who had let the children in, even briefly, never seemed to recover. They would go about their days in a daze, their eyes hollow and empty, much like the children themselves. Just as quickly as they had arrived, the children vanished. But the neighborhood would never be the same. Homes that had once been filled with laughter and life now stood in eerie silence. The once bustling street became a place where no one ventured past nightfall. Anyone who opened the door would never be the same again. And anyone who opened the door would never be the same again. The hollow faces were still there, waiting for the next knock.